Hello, welcome back to my channel. In this week's video, we are going to be talking about how to buy pre-loved and vintage handbags. I love to collect handbags, and especially like the vintage ones. I find them so much more my vibe right now, especially because the early 2000s is trending. So let's get into it so you know how to do it properly and don't get scammed or buy fakes, because I don't support that on this channel. And by the way, these tips are not exclusive to just handbags. It can be to clothing, accessories, etc. My first tip is to know what you're looking for, because in the sea of vintage and pre-loved items, you can get lost at sea. So have an idea. Know what is the name of the handbag, do research, look at photos, figure out the exact colorways that you want, just so you know and you can have a clear vision. Because sometimes you might be like, I like this, but then go off and be like, I kind of like that more. Just do some research and figure out what you actually want first. An example of me doing my research, Louis Vuitton denim Neo Speedy. I will put everything in the description box below. I don't always memorize everything, but she is so cool. I think I'm just gonna say less because I'll just go on and rant about her forever. I actually picked up from eBay, and I will give some eBay tips in a moment. I should wear her today, like it's kind of a vibe. Oh, we might actually wear her today instead. Okay. My next tip is to buy it before it goes viral. For multiple reasons. The availability of the item, and then also pricing. It is just so insane how many people will search up and be hunting and bidding against you and try and figure out trends before they're like on the rise. I work in the industry, so you usually have to be at least 3 months ahead of a trend to just know. A piece that I did that with is my little Fendi girl right here, like 5 years ago, but I bought her right before these were on the rise, right before vintage pieces were on the rise, and I got her for $500 on eBay, and she's real, 100% hardware and everything, so it's Fendi. Like, she had some wear to it because she was vintage, but she was in really good condition, and I've kept her in good condition as well too. They now, I swear, they go for like $1,500, $2,000. They may have calmed down right now, so they might not be that high, but I just remember seeing her for like over $2,000 sometimes, and I'm like I could really go on a rant about vintage pieces and how try and like scam us because of trends, but like if there's high demand for it, then maybe it's not really a scam. But either way, don't get got. Okay, with these next tips, don't get got. I'm gonna help you not get got. It's used. At the end of the day, it's a used handbag. It's not even brand new. Like, why am I spending retail new prices where I could walk into the Fendi store for a vintage piece? So I'd rather you not, babe. So side note as well too, I got like the matching hair clip. It was like so adorable. If you're new to buying pre-loved handbags or vintage pieces, just stick to the 100% authentic, well 100%, maybe 99 sites that are like usually consignment stores, online or in store. So there's like the Real Vestiaire Collective. If you're in Toronto, VSP or Fashion File online. I will link everything down below and all the options that I've used and actually shopped from. Oh, there's another one in New York that looks so pretty and girly, and I really want to go visit one day. The first online consignment store that I've ever shopped from was actually the Real, and I had purchased, this was like my first handbag that I ever bought, and she was pre-loved. Balenciaga chain flat bag. I mean, not everything is vintage that's pre-loved, so at the time, this was maybe 1 season old, not like 20. Balenciaga was my favorite brand at the time. I really wanted a chain flap that gave me Chanel vibes, but I didn't have Chanel money. So I was looking this up, realized I didn't even have the option to purchase like it from the store anymore. So then I just found the name of the bag, searched it up, and ended up finding it on the Real. And it ended up being a bit less too. So that's another good tip. If you are just looking for a piece and it's out of season, or it was sold out everywhere in the Real stores, you can just go to these like consignment shops. If you do want to avoid being priced at a premium, because obviously these authentic sites, they charge more. Branding, there's so many things that go into it, and rightfully so, they deserve to. But if you want to avoid the premium, you can shop from like user-generated sites, like such as eBay, Depop, Poshmark. My personal favorite is eBay. If you shop on eBay, you probably know a lot about like Japanese sellers, because in Japan, I don't know the exact law, but it's basically illegal to sell fakes. And that's why so many people travel to Japan. I really do want to go, like, for the culture and everything, because so many people go there to shop for like designer handbags, and the prices are like insanely good, but still authentic. So you can shop them online on eBay as well too. I will link a few down below that I've actually shopped from. It's not that I want to gatekeep, but I want to recommend sellers that I've actually used. For the most part, if you find a Japanese seller that you like, make sure their ratings are like more than 90%, and you'll pretty much be safe. And obviously, usually these really good sellers are selling hundreds of items anyway, so you'll be able to gauge. Trust me. I have faith in you. I also really like Poshmark. That's my second favorite. There's also Depop as well too, but I find better deals on Poshmark. That's what I've noticed. But then sometimes Depop has better assortment. My pro tip for shopping on these sites is when you come across an item you like it. Don't buy it right away. If you like it or save it or whatever, sometimes the seller will like DM you or like send you an offer of a better price. So, and then you can kind of negotiate. Don't lowball these sellers. Like, obviously it's hard work sometimes when you find good pieces, but I usually will tend to offer something lower, like a little bit lower than I'm willing to pay, and then they'll meet me in the middle if we're negotiating or like counter offering. Is it real or is it fake? I would rather you guys be safe and just shop from like maybe Japanese sellers and like the original OG consignment stores and call it a day. But if you want to play the game like I have, is to either use an authentication service and send like those photos to them so that they can figure it out for you. I think there's places like, and Truppy is a place that like the actual businesses use. I don't think individuals can use it, but I will link some others down below that you guys can take a peek at. In my opinion, analyze the photos. If you know the name of the item, compare them with one of those authentic like websites, like consignment shops, and just analyze the photos, compare them side by side. If it's a used vintage piece, there should be signs of wear. It shouldn't look brand new. Like, that's just inevitable. Ask for photos of that product code and go on Google and search it up, and then a bunch of photos that of the exact same product should show up. Also be careful for people posting photos that might not be their own. So just analyze the photos, see if the setting matches their entire like page of listings. You can kind of gauge when it's the person's photos or not, but again sometimes you can't. So these things I'm giving to you with a grain of salt. Don't come back to me and tell me you got a fake. Please just use an authentication service if you're nervous. It doesn't have to be designer. It can be pre-loved or vintage, anything. So right now I actually have an obsession with non-designer handbags, but that are still vintage, like early 2000s, the Y2K kind of trend. I can't stand that word. Guess. Vintage Guess you could do. XOXO, BCBG, Max Azria. They're making a comeback, and they're really like the cool girl handbags now. One of my personal favorites is her. She is so cute. Another good place that you can actually look is thrift stores. I know I didn't say that. I know that shakes some people up because they're like, oh my gosh, they're so dirty. Like, I will do a video on how I clean and I care for my vintage or like pre-loved pieces, because just because you get it online, babes, doesn't mean it's clean. This bowling kind of style is just so good. The studding makes her edgy. It's just me. It's like pink and girly, but a little bit edgy. And she was $11. If you guys have been watching my videos, you realize I'll rave about that till the cows come home. $11. And then I found $4 in the pocket. I cleaned her up already, but I think I forgot to take out the $4. So good. The satin lining, like, get into it. Guess who's really doing that? Guess to this day mimics a lot of designer handbags still. Like, I know they do. I think currently they have that like Prada, you know, crossbody one. So back in the day they were doing the same thing too. Because if you take it in, like, these are giving, they're giving similar vibes. So yeah, like the shapes and stuff. I know this is like a shoulder bag and this is like handheld, but like still. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and it was helpful for you. Leave me some of your pre-loved vintage handbag tips in the comments down below. And yeah. I love you guys so much. Make sure you click my head to subscribe, watch these other videos that you may have missed, and follow me on these socials so you can keep up with me. I love you guys so much, and take care.